The listeners just missed my knee snap, crackle,
I
pop.
think that's how we should start the episode.
Do you think I could get it, the audio of it?
Microphone.
Hold on, let's see if we can get it.
ASMR.
We'll see if that came through on the mic. It was pretty loud here in person.
It sounds like ripping Velcro.
Yeah, it really.
That's
great. Yep, it is. I am worried about my knees.
I actually meant to ask you, one of my notes was like, how's your health?
Yeah.
Because remember a while ago, you did like colonoscopy, you did like blood work, like you were doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You feel fine?
I feel fine. I have just ongoing stomach issues. Yeah. I think I have IBS. I think that's what I figured.
Okay.
I think it's just part of life.
Listen, you're a survivor.
Survivor. I know. But yeah, body's doing good. I don't think I don't have Crohn's. So that was the big takeaway from that.
Huge. Yeah.
Main thing is, well, I'm going in the yellow. Hopefully this is good. Main thing is that I'm gonna turn my on.
We're like staring at it now. Like, okay.
I am Ironman training as the people know.
You are.
That's my main concern is that I'm gonna push myself too hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like irreparable damage on my body and my knees specifically.
Should we just stop? Or
no, I gotta get through it. I gotta push through, and then I'll just get a quick knee surgery.
Just do that. Swap it out for a new one.
Swap out for new
People
knees.
would do that.
I know. I probably will need new knee surgery someday.
Need new knees.
I need new knees. People are getting their new faces. I could do the Kris Jenner, but just on my knees. I'll come back. I'll have the best knees ever.
Yeah.
They're getting a knee lift.
You're like, listen, look from here to here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I am good. I feel like, I mean, I'll just jump in because this is what we're here for. But last week was a very engaging week as far as like we had multiple networking events, right?
Yeah.
And so for whatever reason, when Friday hit me, I got real weird. And I felt like so I dropped Alice off at camp on Friday. And Chad was like, why aren't you talking to people? Like, I got weird socially, like dropping her off. I didn't really know what to do. And I ended up just like leaving. I just was like, I can't be here. I just felt weird. And I knew I was getting to my friend Carrie. And so I was like, I just use it as an excuse. I'm like, I'm just going to go over to her house and hang out.
Yeah.
But like, there was just some moms and there's still some little tension with friendships there. And I was just feeling like uncomfortable in my own skin. And I hate that feeling. And it just progressed as the day went on. And it's kind of embarrassing, but I feel like this is a safe space to say this. So Friday, I drop her off. I go to Carrie's house. Carrie and I had some crunchy conversations about our kids, and it got a little like, again, hard for me. And I'm like, okay, we worked it through. It's good. And I'm really happy that she was honest and was like sharing how she was feeling about things. And then I went home and it was just Chad and Piper and I, because Allie's obviously at camp.
Yep.
And we're just kind of hanging out, relaxing. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And I'm like, it's been such a crazy week. I just want to stay home and do nothing.
Yeah.
And then he says, oh, Piper, should we go for a bike ride? And in my head, I'm like, oh, Pipes will ride her bike and he and I will walk. And then he made the comment, unless mommy wants to walk. And then I was like, unless, like what? And I just got so offended by the fact that I was in unless, like it was like a second.
Your option B.
I was an afterthought.
Yeah.
And that.
He wanted to run? He wanted to jog?
He wanted to ride his bike with Piper.
Oh, gotcha.
And I just turned it into like a huge thing. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to die on this hill tonight.
Hey, sometimes you got to do that.
I don't know why. It was actually very embarrassing. And I apologized to Chad the next day and I was like, I think I was a little crazy and I don't know why, but it was weird. It was like this snowball effect of like being weird when I dropped Allie off and then getting into this conversation with Carrie and then coming home and being uber defensive with Chad. And yeah. And then we tried to get through it. Like I came home. This is so bad. Oh my gosh. I was like, I'm throwing myself under the bus here. So what happens is we go
yeah.
And I'm like, I was literally like, I will not walk with you. You are going to ride your bike with Piper and I'm going to take Stella. And like, please don't even act like you know me. It's like this stance I was deciding I would take. And so then I decided I'm just going to go for a long walk. Clearly, I'm in my head. I need to just like get out and like walk it out. And so I take an extra long walk and then I come home and Pipes and Chad have cleaned the house.
Oh, wow.
They've set up this little bench with like my slippers and a candle and a little note that said, "Your bed is waiting for you." And so then I'm like, "Oh," and then I go into the bedroom and like nobody's there. It's just that like my computer is there as if I could watch a show in bed, and there's like the bed's made, and I'm like, this is so mean. Like they're trying to ice me out.
Oh,
like that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
And that's
where were they?
They were in the back room, and I go in and they were kind of
pretty far away.
Listen, if you've ever been to my house, it's extreme. Sometimes you yell from one and they can't hear you. I go in the back room and they're like together on the couch, like kind of whispery, giggly. And I, again, in my head, I was like, they're like, this is like a whole thing and this is like a joke. And I am like my feelings are hurt. And I just it's like I kept looking for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And they were flabbergasted. Poor Piper. I actually felt really bad. I had to apologize to her because she's like, we were trying to do something nice.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, I said, the whole thing, I'm like talking to Chad. I'm like, the whole thing was that I didn't want to be left behind. And then you bring me home and then you're like, now go to the room by yourself. It was like, you like excluded me and then you put me in timeout. And it was like in a kind way, like this is just how my brain is interpreting it. That's not at all what their intentions were, but this is just genuinely how I received all of those messages.
Yeah.
So then I felt really bad and I was like, I'd love to just be together. I want to like flip this around. And so we ended up, the three of us, playing some games and ended on a good note. But I just got weird.
Yeah. Why do our brains do that?
I don't know.
Because like in hindsight, you're talking about it now and you obviously realize that you
100%.
overreacted or
Oh my
whatever.
gosh.
Like, but why in the moment can we not like see clearly?
Right.
Because that happened to me this weekend too with something. Also went on a walk with my partner that I didn't want to be on with his parents. And not that I didn't want to be with his parents, but we were all going on a walk.
Right.
And I wanted to go on a walk with myself.
Yeah.
Because I needed like some quiet time by myself. And then his parents want to go on a walk, which was great. And I'm like, yeah, come on. But I'm like, Brian, now you come with us now. Like, let the four of us go on a walk.
You're like, not you, Brian. He has to stay.
You come with us. And then let's just,
Yeah.
But we were still like mid, we hadn't hashed things out yet.
Yes.
So we were just it was kind of an awkward walk.
So had you guys gotten into like a little tiff beforehand?
Yeah.
Or something? Okay.
And it's not.
Nothing major.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was my Friday.
Yeah.
Like,
why are we like that?
I think
I
I was tired and I think I was emotionally, I was a little vulnerable. I think I was feeling insecure on multiple levels. And I'll be honest, it was like dropping Allie off. I'm nervous about Allie at camp, to be totally transparent. I'm just like, the friendship thing, stuff has happened. She doesn't have her phone, which is great. And it's like, this is exactly what she should be doing, is going to camp without her phone. But I'm such a control freak that I'm used to hearing from her that like now.
Oh, so you can't get updates at all? Oh, wow.
Now to not hear from her. And I'm just like, what if the worst thing is happening? I'm like, instead of just being like, I bet she's having the best time, which is usually my thought process. I don't like that. I'm kind of like spirally in this negative mindset. But
I bet though, if she needed to call you, she could find a way
for sure.
If it was so bad that she needed to get a hold of you,
right.
And that hasn't happened, right?
Correct.
Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
She's doing great.
Yes. No, you're right. And but I think I got like in my head a little bit, and then the thing with Carrie happened, and I got even more like insecure about things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went home, and it's like he just tipped the ice, it was like he just made this comment, and like he, in his head, he was being so like, oh, I was gone so much last week in the evenings, and he was like, when you're not here, Piper and I go and rewrite our bikes together.
Yeah.
So this has been like a trend they're doing.
Right.
And all I heard was, oh, unless you wanted to come, unless you thought, and so I did not. I just took my little tiny perspective of the situation and I blew it out of proportion.
Yeah. So things build up and they get to the point that a little thing can seem like a big thing because of the things that preceded it.
Well, I for me, it's like I feel emotionally I don't know. I keep wanting to use the word insecure. Like I think I feel like I'm just in a vulnerable position, and then I'll take that little thing and I add it to that list, even though that's not at all what it was intended for.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I get it. I've been there. Weekly.
No. So that was my Friday.
Was the rest of the weekend
No, the rest of the weekend was much better.
Okay.
But yeah, I woke up on Saturday night.
Should I be walking on eggshells?
If you want to. It's actually probably safer that way for you. Yeah, I woke up Saturday and I came out and I said, I'm really sorry. I think I was a little crazy last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And he was very kind about it. He was like, no, I think you had some really legit reasons and I see where you're coming from. So it was, he received it very well. And I was like, okay, moving on.
That's such a perfect response because I would never say that.
You'd be like, yeah, you were crazy.
If Brian came to me the day after something like that, and said, sorry, I was crazy. I was like, there'd be no legitimizing it for me.
I literally I'm gonna spit out my coffee on that. I love that. Yeah, you're like
Chad's a better man.
What else do you feel like you were?
Yeah,
you're like,
that's one way to describe it. Usually, I'm the crazy, so I think it goes in flow. I think we go back and forth on who's the crazy one.
I actually can't even of the situations, and maybe you just don't say much, but I can't imagine either of you guys being like, I feel like I'm irrational. Like I'm like, if people listen to this and you're like, what the heck? Why did she do that? Like, I feel like that would be like, I don't know. I guess I just did that. But like for you guys, I don't feel like you ever say anything and it's like, why would he do that? I don't know.
The main thing that I do often is I will get annoyed that he's annoyed. Like if he gets grumpy with me about something that to me feels like such a small, insignificant thing, I'm like, really? Like, you're gonna make a big deal out of that? Like that is, and then I don't really even take a second to like listen and hear where he's coming from. Sure. I just immediately jump to like defensive mode and like hitting him right back with the annoyance. Like I'm gonna match that energy real quick.
I know I am, but what are you?
Yeah. So I need to do a better job when he does express frustration about anything. Yeah. Like actually trying to hear him. Yeah. Rather than immediately jumping to defensiveness.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. And I don't know, maybe it's like a younger sibling thing, whatever birth order. But I was like, I wonder what it would take for me to receive criticism or negative feedback or correction or something and not immediately want to murder the person. No. But like, what would that look like? To just be like, I'm gonna think about what you just said and like own up to whatever my part was. You know, like, how wild would that be? And are there people like that?
That's a great question. I wonder the same thing for myself. Like, I think what it would probably take is the person prepping me for what's about to be said by saying, I'm about to give you some feedback. Like, I need you to like hear that this is coming from a good place. Yeah. And I think if I was receiving feedback, that's how I would need to. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Rather than just like coming right out and saying something that I'm doing wrong.
My friend Sarah used to ask for permission. Oh, she'd be like, hey, do I have permission to share something with you? And if you were feeling not ready, you could be like, not today.
Yeah. Did you and Chad do premarital counseling?
Yeah, we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it helpful?
Yes and no. Like, I remember we did some personality assessments and that was really helpful. That was back with like Myers-Briggs. Okay. So we did those things. We set goals, and this is one that's like still kind of a joke in our marriage. So it was like 2, 5, and 10-year goals. And like in our 2-year goals, I said, I'm going to learn to play golf. I'm going to be this golfing buddy for my husband. In 5 years' time, we'll have kids. 10 years, I couldn't tell you what happened in 10 years. But we ended up having kids in our first 2 years of marriage. Okay. And so I put golf off and I've never picked it up.
Hey, now's the time. You have a golf simulator?
Totally. It's one of those things that we like joke. I was supposed to learn that so long ago and I just didn't do it.
Hey, I think we're going to try to schedule some premarital counseling.
Yeah. I feel like it doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was your Friday. Is there anything else on your Friday?
Tell me about yours. I feel like I've hogged the conversation.
Not at all. Thursday nights we talked about What was that?
We were together.
We were together late. Yeah, we were together until
multiple events.
8 p.m. What time did I drop you off at your car?
Yes.
And I was telling you that we were thinking about going to Chelan, but maybe not. We're still kind of going back and forth.
Yes.
We decided to go.
Yeah, that night.
And we got there after 1 a.m. I think it was like 1:30 in the morning.
So you went home, packed up.
Went home, packed, did all the things. Brian had a soccer game, so I had to wait
Thursday night?
Thursday night. So he got home after me. We probably got out of the house at like 10 p.m.
Wow.
And got there at 1:30.
Kind of fun.
It was fun, but I was tired.
Yeah,
it was a really long day leading up to that. I had like literally 3 different events.
Yes.
The 2 with you, and then I had a rescue mission event that morning, and then other meetings and a listing appointment, and
your Thursday vlog. If anybody follows Austin, go look at that one. I was like, is this him all the time? Like, I was like, that was wild.
An especially busy day.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, driving to Chelan that night. So very tired. I drove the whole way. And it was fine most of the time, but there was one part where it was like a crazy rainstorm. So driving like at night, it was dark, sideways rain, windy. I was like hydroplaning. Like it was scary. That part was rough. But beyond that, it was fine.
Yeah, so that's terrifying.
I'm very glad we went. It was a really great weekend in Chelan. I don't even know if I have a breakdown like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's all blurs when you're out there. You know,
all blurs.
You lose track of time and day.
Yeah, I'm very glad that we went. We were looking at our calendars as we were deciding whether or not to go.
Right.
We realized we've only been home one weekend since the beginning of May. So between May and June, we were home one weekend.
Okay.
So that was almost the reason we didn't go.
Right.
Just to be home for the weekend. Once we got there, it was super relaxing, super chill. So I'm glad we went.
Oh, good.
A couple notes just wrote down Stevie's happy place.
Yeah.
She loves it there so much.
So cute.
She loves the water.
Oh my gosh, her and that giant stick.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the whole weekend, so we got there late Thursday night. She really wanted to go in the water at like 2 a.m. on Thursday night.
Listen, I know where I'm at.
And
I know what I do here.
You can't go in the water because it was she wouldn't have dried because it was dark.
Yeah.
And nighttime. So we like made her come inside Thursday night, and then Friday, as soon as it was light out, she's darting towards the water.
Hilarious.
And throughout the weekend, she kept sneaking off and going in the water. Like,
I love it.
We'd be sitting at the table outside playing a game.
She's all, bye.
And she would literally sneak.
Yeah.
Like she would take little quiet small steps.
Yeah.
Wait till we weren't looking, and then sneak down the stairs. And then we'd look up. We'd be like, "Oh, where's Stevie?" It's probably happened 10 times.
Oh my
gosh.
She's
out in the lake, just pitter like. Doing her little thing.
It's so cute
and super cute, but it got to the point where I'm like, what if she got hit by a boat, or like what if she like, went out too far and she couldn't find her way back? So I'm like, I started getting scared, so I ended up leashing her up, and she was sad. But she loves it there. Definitely her favorite place. We felt bad leaving. We played a lot of Zine Check, which is Brian's family card game. We did a boat ride into town. That was the gist of our weekend.
Okay.
We did some wedding planning, which was great.
Yeah.
Planned kind of our bachelor party kind of thing
fun.
we're doing.
Are you guys going to do that together, or will you?
So we've gone back and forth on this quite a few times.
Yeah.
Pretty much every other bachelor party we've been to is like a whole weekend ordeal. You fly to another city. And
this is getting out of hand.
It's a whole thing. And it's expensive.
Yes.
And so I have a bachelor party in the weekend after next in New Orleans.
Okay. Oh.
And then a wedding in Hawaii the next month. So and then our wedding is in November. Yeah. So we're like, it doesn't really make sense to do a weekend away.
Okay.
Like we have I feel like our friends are getting a little bit maybe burnt out on all these things.
Yeah.
And so we decided to just do a one night bachelor party.
Oh, nice. Okay.
A joint bachelor party.
Fun.
Probably in like Seattle area.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe go play laser tag and then go to a nice dinner and just do like a one night thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that it's laser tag.
We love laser tag.
Like, why not?
It's our favorite. There's a place in Kirkland that's
great.
Awesome. Yeah. But yeah, did some wedding planning to figure that out. And then last thing from the weekend I'll just share is there was a house so Brian's always looking at Redfin. Yeah. Perpetually.
Yes.
Even though we are not looking to buy a house this year. Brian Moran, we are not looking to buy a house this year. We're getting married this year. I've been pretty set on that. I don't feel ready. I don't want to add one more thing to my life right now.
Yeah.
However, there's this house that you came across in Bothell.
Okay.
Do you know where Bothell is generally?
Mm-hmm, totally.
Next to Woodinville.
I've heard of it.
It's a house that's randomly Brian's mom's aunt lived in.
Oh,
so
okay.
Brian's mom
live there now. Used to
is the seller. She's the seller, the aunt. She has dementia, so it's kind of like her estate that's selling it.
Yeah.
But so Brian's mom grew up like going to this house for Christmas and stuff.
Oh, fun.
And so we come across this listing and it like feels too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's priced at $675, which is insane.
Yes.
For Bothell.
Yeah.
That is
right.
I looked, there's no other houses under like 900,000
Does it
in
need
Bothell.
like a ton of work?
No. It's a little bit outdated. Like it needs a little bit of work, but not a lot. So we're like, okay, this feels too good to be true.
Right.
Like we found it on Friday. And we're like, okay, let's go look at it on Sunday.
Yeah.
And like, if it feels good, like let's make an offer. Like, you know, either we buy it for ourselves or we flip it or whatever.
Right.
Like it's a great investment, right?
Yeah.
So the whole weekend, you know, we're looking at this house over and over. We're talking about, it's kind of like, it's called like piano abode. Have you heard of that? That might not be the right word, but it's like the log cabin style house. Kind of like prefab. It's like a prefab log cabin house. Does that ring a bell?
So different from,
very different.
I'm only doing this face because I'm like, that's not the mid-century modern you two are drawn to.
Not our style at all.
Yeah.
But price was so great. We're like, we could totally make this work. And we started looking at inspiration on Pinterest for like, how can you make a log cabin kind of more modern? So we're like, what if we painted some of the wood white? Because it's currently just all the kind of reddish brown wood.
I love that you're on Pinterest before you've seen it in person.
Yeah. Well, that's my partner in crime is thinking about every possible thing. And so we're pretty excited about this house. And I text and call the agent on Friday saying, do you have any offers yet? We are planning on looking at it on Sunday. Like, please let me know if anything comes in.
Right.
Doesn't respond to my call and doesn't respond to my text. No response on Friday. And then on Saturday, I'm like, okay, well, Brian, we're still talking about the house. There's not much else to talk about.
Right.
That's what we're talking about for the weekend. And I follow up on Saturday, follow up with the listing agent. I say, hey, just making sure you saw this yesterday, like any offers.
Right.
And she says, we just accepted an offer, an at list price offer.
Ma'am.
So somebody got in there, some investor probably got in there and offered list price, and the agent took the offer without responding to other agents that were interested.
That makes me so sad for that seller who is family.
Who is family, yes.
What a disservice.
100% disservice. That house should have sold for $850.
Oof.
And the buyer got it for $675.
It's wild. She told you we accepted at list price.
Yeah,
like,
she told me that.
You don't even tell the numbers until
I responded. I said, we would have offered above list price.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, well, it was a contingency free offer. I said, we would have done a contingency free offer as well.
Right.
I'm like, we would have beat that offer. And I was like, please let me know if anything falls through. Like, and she's like, well, the seller's happy with it. I'm like, well, I'm glad the seller's happy, but like,
well, also, does your seller know who we are? Because she might have been happier with us.
Yeah. So that was incredibly disappointing.
That's horrible.
Yeah. So
that feels like a fear-based agent.
Yeah.
Which,
well, I'm sure the buyer offer, you know, their expires at noon or like they probably did a quick expiration. And she calls the seller, well, we got this offer. But for her, I understand that side of it. But to not respond to other agents
100%.
who are reaching out,
exactly.
It really bothered me. And I'm like, I'm still bothered by it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel bad for the seller. I feel bad for Brian because he was really excited about it.
Shame.
And yeah, so that was the disappointing thing that happened.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
So we almost moved to Bothell.
We weren't going to.
Which it was a great location.
Keep that Pinterest board. You never know.
Yeah, walking distance to down right in the main area.
Fun.
All of Brian's family is in Bothell, so we've been close to them.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Very disappointing.
The one that got away.
Very sad. I'll show you the listing after because it's a really cute house.
Like, it's just a double. It would have been one thing if like there was multiple offers, we got way outbid. It wasn't going to be doable.
100%.
The fact that it wasn't that is a hard pill to swallow.
That's what we thought was going to happen.
Right.
We're like, let's look at it on Sunday. More than likely, it's going to go for $850. We're not going to pay $50 for it. Like, if we could get this house for $675, we're not looking to move right now, but like, absolutely.
Right.
Like, that is a great investment. Yeah. Because this house is going to be worth over $1 million with a little bit of work.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the fact that I kind of wish I wanted to have told everybody that they accepted an offer at list price because it kind of dampened the mood for a little while.
Oh, right.
We're all just sad about it.
No, but then what? You're just sitting with that information by yourself. That's
very disappointing. So that's it. That's my lot of good stuff this weekend. That was the one bad. That was the one bad thing.
Okay. Is that your whole weekend?
Kind of. I think we got home Here, talk about your Saturday.
Okay. So Saturday is kind of funny. So kind of had a slower morning. We had nothing to do that day. So we were like, okay, we've got the whole day. It's nice. It's a nice day. Like, what should we do? And I had the idea of taking Stella to Marymore Park up in Redmond. I'd reach out to you guys in case you hadn't gone to Chelan. But I was like, we've got no agenda. Like, it's worth the hour drive to get up there, and she can maybe try swimming. So Stella in the past really avoids swimming. Like, we've taken her to Marymore before, and she I think she got scared when the bottom fell out, and it was like the water. You know, she couldn't touch the ground. She just seemed terrified. Well, not this time, friends. This time, she was so into it. And it was one of those things where we're at first, we're so excited. We're like, oh my gosh, look at her. She's swimming. And then we're like, oh, she's going that way. And then we're like, oh, she's going really far that way.
Yeah.
We started watching her. She starts going towards these geese that were swimming. And I'm like, oh, okay, wait. And both Chad and I are like, what if she fatigues out and she goes under?
Chad's getting ready to swim.
He was 100%. He was about to take off
his shoes.
He's and then there was strangers that were helping us. They would, because the other thing is at Marymore, there's little entrances.
Yeah. And
then there's gaps of nature in between. Yep. So I'm at some point we lose sight of her.
Oh, she goes past the one. She goes
past her. We can see, and there's people running on the other side.
No way.
She's coming back. And so then we'd come back, and then she would try to get out during the area that wasn't actually the exit. So then she's stuck behind a fence at one point. She has to get back in the water and then come back around. It was wild. We were just oh my gosh. But
did you get the geese?
No, she didn't. Thank goodness. But okay, so before we get there,
I can just imagine a group of kids just watch this dog obliterate these geese.
Oh my gosh, how awful.
Traumatizing.
Would that have been? Okay, but let me back it up because I just jumped right into it. So we decided we're going to leave, and we're kind of talking about our day. We had gotten Chick-fil-A for breakfast, which we do almost every Saturday. And so then we're like, well, okay, we could go up there, and then maybe we grab some lunch. We come home, and Chad had talked about maybe wanting to go into Fondy's for dinner. And so he's like, are we going to do 3 meals out? I was like, good call. Let's not do that. Let's pack a picnic. So we packed a picnic, and took us a little bit to get out of the house. Finally get on the road. And we're driving. It's just the 3 of us. We're playing 20 questions. We get a little distracted, and we realized Chad missed the exit to get onto 520.
Okay.
And so now we're stuck on 405. Well, I don't know if you're familiar with what's happening with 405.
Oh, yeah. But it's my life.
It is a nightmare.
Yeah, especially weekends.
We went from arriving in 9 minutes to arriving 2 hours later. We were literally on the road for 3 hours. It was horrendous.
It added 2 hours to your time.
2
missing an exit.
Hours missing an exit. We could not get off that 520. We got stuck in the express lane. And
wait, told 520.
520 to Redmond is what we were supposed to get off at.
Gotcha.
And we missed it. We were in the express lane of 405.
Okay.
And there was literally no exits. Yeah. And it was chocker block stop. It was all of a sudden we were stop, dead stop. And it went from 5 lanes to 1 lane to everybody has to exit. This is closed. The freeway was literally closed. So it was wild.
It was miserable.
Somewhat comical because Chad is number 1, the best with direction. So for him to miss a turn, he was kicking himself. So Piper's losing it in the back.
So does it on your Google Maps, does it jump from 9 minutes to 2 hours? So it went
from, no, not at first.
Okay.
It went from arriving at how did it do it? Because it was it showed us 9 minutes, and then it went, it was arrive at 12:06, and then it went to arrive at 12:45, 12:47 or something. It was it jumped 45 minutes. And I was like, oh shoot, that jumped 45 minutes. Well, that 45 minutes turned into another 10, another 15, another 16. And eventually we got there around 2 p.m. We left our house at 11.
Holy cow.
So,
that is so rough. Wow.
So bad. And
that's the worst.
Yeah. And it was, the thing is one of those days we had nothing to do, we had nowhere to be.
But that's not what you want to do with your free time.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Because we were we'll go to the park, we'll hang out for a couple hours, we'll come back and we'll lounge by the pool. It's gonna be really nice and warm. We'll swim. So anyways, we do the dog park thing. She's loving it. She's swimming. She's having a blast. We get a little terrified, but it's all good. She comes back to us. And we have our picnic, and then we're all right, let's head back. We stop at Woods Coffee on the way home. and then get back home within like an hour. Like the drive back was so easy.
Yeah.
It was literally an hour. And then that afternoon, we still kind of hung out by the pool. Pipes and Chad swam a bit, but we just had like, it was like one of those nights where it's just perfect temperature. And it was just us out on the deck. We made a couple of beverages. We ended up ordering from the Koi. We ordered sushi. Have you been there?
No.
The Koi? Okay, it's in Tacoma. Yeah. I asked Chad, I said, okay, if we're sitting outside, if you could have one thing brought to you right now, you could snap your finger and say, this is what I would love to be delivered to my house, what would it be? And he said sushi. And I was like, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Really?
So we
same page.
That. Yep.
Yeah. So sometimes we're just so aligned and sometimes we're not.
And it's like all within 24 hours. That is what's wild. What a roller coaster. That poor guy. He's probably like, this girl.
Getting through it.
Somebody, if you see Chad Erskine, check on him. But yeah, that was our Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I was gonna say
3 hours.
Totally.
4 hours.
That's wild. But that she liked Miramore.
She loved it.
Okay, we needed, but the fact you lost her is pretty funny. She's just like going around the different things.
And like I think Stevie listens. That was the other thing because like Stella doesn't listen.
Yeah.
And so that's the embarrassing thing. It's like, Stella, come, Stella. And we're like trying to call her, and now people around us are picking up that she's not listening and that she's veering off. Like no other dogs are anywhere near her. She's so far beyond that they're like, oh, these people. They don't know what they're doing.
Are we opposed to an e-collar? Oh, are you morally opposed to the e-collar that Stevie has?
No, not at all.
You shouldn't get one.
I know.
But
we have to go through training, right?
100% not. I think we could train you two on how to train Stella in like an hour.
Oh.
100%.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It would make me less anxious.
Okay, because she did get out on Saturday for a quick hot second, and the way we got her back in is we pretended Stevie was over.
Oh,
and so Piper and Chad set up this whole little trap, and Chad's in the house. Piper's hiding on the side of the fence, and Chad's like, Stevie, we're so glad you're here. Stevie, come, Stevie. And Stella comes running through.
Oh.
And then Piper runs around and slams the gate shut.
Yeah. To be honest, the only reason we feel comfortable allowing Stevie just like to go swim in the lake is because of the e-collar. Like it gives us so much peace of mind that like she's trained to come back.
Yeah.
And I think we could train Stella to do the same. I really do.
I hope so.
I think we could.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Did you do your Sunday?
Kind of. I do have a bone to pick with you real quick.
I'm so scared.
Brian
Can you ask me permission first?
Can I pick a bone with you? Brian is actively texting me about the tonal.
Why is that my fault?
Because it's you and Chad's fault for showing him the tonal at your house.
No, listen. Is your ASH, what is it?
I don't remember what it's called.
HSA card?
HSA. I should respond to that. Look into the HSA. Yeah.
There's a tonal 2 out. Don't let him know.
He does know about that. 100% he knows.
Oh my gosh.
Brian's a big researcher.
Yeah.
Let me go into our little challenges real quick. Is that cool?
What's your challenges?
Okay, so June challenge. Today is the last day of June.
Yeah.
Actually, if we get to go through a weekend, I'm kind of hopping around all over.
Okay, well, I just want to finish up
Sunday.
Sunday was actually a great day. Awesome. We were out at Lake Taps. We had a friend invite us out to their lake house, and it's just Chad and I went. Piper went with a friend to another picnic family thing, and it's beautiful. Have you ever been out there?
A couple times.
Okay, I had not. And I've been to like Bonnie Lake, like I had a listing out there a couple years ago, but never actually on like the water.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was so many of like their fire department friends were like, oh, that's so-and-so's house. That's so-and-so. Oh, cool. So-and-so's in-laws live right there. But beautiful, like such a perfect day. We were treated to lots of yummy food and drinks. We played cornhole. We went on a boat ride.
Was the boat ride crazy? Was
it choppy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one time being on a boat on Lake Taps, it was like crazy. Like so many boats, so many jet skis.
Right.
Like kind of scary.
Okay.
Was it that? So I think I might have been there like on the 5th of July or something.
Okay, so what's funny is the family that was there, they were like, we don't let our kids in the water on the 4th.
Okay.
Because it's so intense and it's so dangerous. And she was telling us about a story where her kid, they have a surfing boat. And she said, there's this one point he fell in and there was another boat coming and he wasn't watching. And she's like, we were so terrified he was going to hit him. So she was saying that is like, I think that's a common occurrence that it's so wild.
Yeah, that's my one experience with that lake, and it was just like overwhelming how many people were out in the water.
It was like choppy. We're going super fast and we were getting, splashed.
Yeah.
So it's not like your parents' like cruiser boat like that.
Pontoon.
Yes, exactly. Which I'm a big fan of. It was still super fun and it was a great day. So we did that and then we didn't get home till like after 8 yesterday from that. But yeah, that was my Sunday.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a great Sunday.
It was really fun.
I love being on a lake.
I know. It makes us be like, is this our next home? But then it's like, it's a slippery slope. Now you live on a lake. Now you have to buy a boat. Mm-hmm. Now you buy a boat. You have to have insurance. You have to do gas. You have to do
jet skis.
Jet skis.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a lot. Okay. What's your challenge? Let's go.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of anything else from our Sunday. We left Chelan at like 3 p.m. ish, and we did hit some traffic. I think we got home around 7.
Did you hit?
Not
additional hours?
No, not as we probably added an hour with traffic, but that's for a much longer drive. So
totally, the ratio is way better. Yeah.
Got home I think 7. We unpacked and got ready for the weekdays.
Nice. Yeah.
We were gonna get groceries and Costco was closed, so Costco closes early on Sundays. Closes at 5.
Oh, 5. That's really early.
Okay, so challenges. So today's the last day of June.
Okay, how do we do?
Finished my June challenge this morning.
Literally today.
Completed it.
Nice.
Yeah. I did it every day in June. Burned over 1,000
That's actually amazing.
calories.
With as much travel and busy stuff that you've had going on.
Yeah,
it's really impressive.
There were definitely some days that were tough, but if I play pickup, if I do a workout, it's pretty if I do an hour-long workout, I'll probably hit my calories for the day. Okay, so but yeah, finish that.
Nice, congrats.
July challenge for the very first time. Brian and I are doing a challenge together.
Adorable.
And we're going to do a little weight loss challenge.
Cute.
I did that a few months ago, tried and failed, did not work. And
it's different because Brian's joining.
He's joining me and we just love to eat. That's our thing. And we were both in Chelan this weekend and not loving how we look. I love how he looks. He says he loves how I look, whatever. We don't love how ourselves look.
Okay.
And so we're like, it's summertime. Let's be a little disciplined with exercise or with diet this month.
Yeah.
Exercise, we'll exercise, but diet's really the big thing for us. We just love to eat.
Yeah.
It's going to be really hard, but we're doing a July weight loss challenge.
Okay.
My question for you, and I'm going to put you on the spot. You don't have to think of an answer right away, but
I'll try.
We want to do it as a competition, and we're trying to figure out what the winner gets. And we don't have an answer.
Oh,
yeah. We need to figure this out today.
Is it a tonal? Is it?
That's the thing. I don't want a tonal, so
you might.
Maybe that's actually a good. That's a good answer. Maybe if he wins, he gets a tonal. If I win, I'll figure out something that I want of equal value. Which is not a cheap investment.
Okay. Yeah.
Think about it.
I'll think about it. I did have a quick update for you.
Okay.
Do you remember a long time ago when we were talking about Redbox machines and how they're whatever?
Yep.
I finally was at a Walgreens. I was like, oh my gosh, girls, I have to go check on this Redbox. Yeah. The actual door that would have dispensed things was open and it was completely empty.
Oh.
It was this is just a piece of litter. It's a giant piece of litter.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
I think we need to figure out what to repurpose them as.
Ooh.
What if each one, I saw a video on TikTok the other day. I thought it was very cool. In certain countries, there's the street artists, the spray paint artists, like in Mexico or other European countries.
Yeah.
There's people on the street that are spray painting canvases. I saw somebody bring a suitcase to one of those artists.
Okay.
And the artist did a custom sunset mural on the suitcase.
Interesting.
Which turned out beautiful.
Yeah.
And now it's a one-of-a-kind piece of luggage. Yeah. I thought that was so cool. I don't know what that has to do with the Redbox, but what if each Redbox was a little art installation or something? Well,
because that is something they did in Tacoma. They painted utility boxes. Have you seen that? Mm-hmm. So that, could be.
Yeah. If there's any artists out there that are looking for some,
way to get your name out there.
Yeah. Is it graffiti? It would have to be probably agreed to by the Walgreens.
Yeah.
Or you just go late at night.
Yeah. We won't tell.
I won't tell. But if it comes,
in fact, we have a challenge for you. Just kidding. Okay.
I think that's all I got.
Wait, really quick, back to the challenge. Yep. Is there a plan? To me, I feel like that was not to put you on the spot, but that was a little bit of the hurdle last time. Yeah. There wasn't really here's how we're going to actually achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
So have you guys talked like, okay, let's minimize carbs.
We're gonna
portion control. Let's
meal prepping,
fasting. Okay, great.
For throughout the week. The thing that's gonna be the hard part about this is we have 4th of July this next weekend.
Yes.
And then I have New Orleans for a bachelor party. And then we will be something else weekend after that. Mm-hmm. We have definitely a barbecue or something the weekend after that. And then we'll be in Chelan the weekend after that. And then the weekend after that's Alapalooza. So there's not like weekends are it's challenging to eat healthy, those things. Our plan is for each of those occasions to bring like a healthy appetizer to share. So we're starting to brainstorm, look at healthy recipes. Just I don't know. I find myself recently justifying eating unhealthy because I'm working out so much. I'm like, I can see whatever I want. And for whatever reason, that works for me the first time I was training for an Ironman. It's not working for me this time. And like, I don't feel horrible about how I look, but the first time I was training for an Ironman, I was eating whatever I wanted and I lost like 15 pounds. That has not happened this time. And I'm not sure, I don't know what the difference is really, but I think, I don't know. I think I'm just telling myself like I can eat whatever I want. And I need to actually stick to just healthy choices. Like if we're at a restaurant, pick the healthier option. Right. If we are in an environment where there's only unhealthy options, like just moderation is the key.
Well, and that's the thing. Maybe what you guys do is throughout the weekdays, you're super disciplined. And then when you have those events, that's your one meal the weekend that you get to be wild.
A cheat meal with moderation. Meal. Like, and ideally bringing a healthier option along with us too.
Yeah. So. I am excited for you guys to do this together. Yeah. And I'm really curious if it's going to, because it can go one way or the other. It could be like, hey, we're doing this together. We're going to keep each other accountable. Yeah. It could also be like, what's it going to hurt? Yeah. Like since 100%. You both love to eat, to be like, because that's Chad and I, like not on the food thing necessarily, but on others, like we'll be like, oh man, we really got to watch our spending. And then I'll be like, should we go out to eat? Should we do today? Should go buy that?
We both succumb pretty easily to peer pressure.
Justifying. Right.
So I don't think there's a world where one of us sticks with it and the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
I think we either both stick with it or we both abandon it. Yeah. I think that's the reality. Okay. And I think we're going to stick with it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot on the line. We're getting married in November.
So much on the line. You're getting married and you're like, listen.
It's gotta, if there's ever a time to get in shape, it's for our wedding.
Yeah.
So
you also have plenty of time before your wedding.
I know, but time flies, when you're having fun.
Yeah. Okay. Happy Monday afternoon.
Yep.
3 p.m. on the dot.
Thanks, everybody.
Episode 69?
69. Nice.
Okay.
Thanks, Jamie.
Bye.